Well, welcome to another fishing adventure, folks. This is an exciting day. I'm on a road trip, and I'll explain it all to you here as I'm getting set up. First, I got to get the bank sticks placed. Really muddy here. Yeah, about like that. Oh, that one hit a rock. I gotta find a different spot. That'll work. Link to these bank sticks is in the description if you want to get some for yourself. They're pretty awesome. I mean, I've had these for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. I can't remember. I mean, I've replaced these tops a few times because I break those. They're made out of plastic, but these aluminum bank sticks, I've had these for a long time and they're just durable as hell. One thing that is not linked in the description is this bag. I don't have a link to it. It was a clearance item thing, but came for big carp tackle. It's awesome. It's really expensive. I think it was like 150 bucks or something. It's got padded dividers, padding. You know, I'm not super gentle with my reels. I'm rough on them, but I just like to be able to toss the bag around, toss it in the back of my truck, not have to be super careful. But like I said, I'm on a road trip, a long ways away from home here today. I'm here for a couple days. This is day one. Half the day was spent traveling, and then and scouting. I've been at a few different places on the lake here today scouting, and now I'm finally doing a little bit of fishing. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I got about 4 hours until dark. These rods I'm fishing with here today are my Ugly Stick Elite graphite rods, 9 feet long. Oh, just had a fish jump out there. Oh, that's exciting. 9 feet long, medium heavy power, moderate fast action. Of course, link is in the description. This is a Daiwa MCast 5000 spinning reel, also linked in the description. And the line on this is 20-pound mono all the way. I was here at this spot about an hour ago. I threw out some cattle cubes out here, not very far, 30-35 yards out there. It's gonna be probably about 5-6 feet of water is where those are sitting. I'm gonna grab myself some water here. The water clarity at this place is fantastic. That's why I love it so much. It's very unusual for Iowa. They don't allow boats of any kind on this lake, so the erosion is not so much of a problem. And I'm thinking that has a lot to do with the water clarity. Hook bait I'm going to be using today is vanilla tiger nuts, homemade baits from Tom's Baits. And I'm going to be putting two tiger nuts on each hair rig. It's the last week of October. Things are cooling down fast. The water's cooling down fast. Long dark nights, and I don't know what the water temp is here. I'm trying to time it right so that the water temp is in the 60s. It's warm enough where they're still pretty active, but not so cold yet. Oh, another splash out there, but not so cold that they've gone into their winter patterns, you know, into the deep stuff. They should be out into the shallow stuff. Just saw a splash out there right in that zone where I threw those cattle cubes a little while ago. Whew, that's getting me excited. This pack bait is a little something I whipped up right before I walked out here to the spot, and it's a mix of old-fashioned oats, some sweet feed pellets. As you can see, there's some corn in there, and there's also a can of chili beans. I'm going to pack those around this 3-ounce method feeder sinker here, and that's it. This is a pack bait rig. It's very similar to the European method feeder rig that they use. It's just kind of got my own little twist to it, but it's based on that. It's just a good all-around rig for any time of year, really. Carp are primarily bottom feeders, and yeah, they'll eat stuff off the surface and in the mid-depth sometimes, but for the most part, they feed off the bottom, so that's where I fish for the most part, where they are the most of the time. Probably my biggest concern, as far as all the things that are involved with the fishing, catching fish is probably not my biggest concern. My biggest concern is how am I going to get them in, because I don't know if you can see it good right now. Maybe I'll point the good camera at it here, but there's a weed line that runs. It's about 25 feet off from where I'm standing here. It's out in the water. It's where the water's edge was this spring when I was here. The water's edge used to be 25 feet out that way, and I don't know how deep it is out there now, but it's probably a foot and a half or so. But I picked the thinnest spot of this weed line here, hoping that I can a combination of me walking out there and also just having a thin spot there that I can get a fish through that stuff without them getting off. That's my main concern here. All right, I think I casted that one a little too far. I don't know, we'll see. I'll have a deeper one there. That one is probably 7 or 8 feet of water there. And that's a little beyond the range that I got with my cattle cubes. Probably 40, 45 yards on that cast. That'll be the deeper, farther one. I gotta take it easy on this one. I'm getting a little excited, casting it out too far. That's better. Oh, yeah, that's a little deeper than I thought too. Must drop off pretty quick out there. It's cloudy, as you can see. I would prefer it to be sunny, kind of warm things up around the edges a little bit, but yeah, it's cloudy, and daytime high is like 58 or something like that. So cloudy, chilly day. The water, you know, doesn't cool off as fast as the air, so I need to measure the water temp. Hold on, let me get this casted out here. This is a good spot in the spring when things are warming up, and this should be a good spot in the fall. Likewise, the conditions are very similar to when I was here in the spring, except we're just on the cool down instead of the warm up. But the conditions and the water temps are very similar. I had to stomp down a bunch of weeds. Right when I got here, I had to kind of clear a little space here because there's just like tall weeds all the way down the bank here. I don't think this place is fishable at all during the summertime. Weeds, I'm sure these weeds were really tall during the summer. I'm a lucky guy being a fisherman in this day and age when we've got satellite photos to look at. Yeah, historical satellite photos of this place indicate that this whole lake gets a pretty thick weed ring around the perimeter, starting in probably July and all the way until about now. I was kind of waiting. I was hoping that the weeds would be all gone when I got here, and they're not all gone, but I think they're gone enough. I was trying to get that balance between weeds dying off and water getting too cold that the carp aren't active anymore. I think I timed it pretty good. We'll see. I should go check the water temp. Hey, there's a little sunshine. That's going to be gone real fast. Yeah, there it goes. All right. So yeah, this stuff just it's just a very, very gentle decline out here. I mean, and I remember in the spring I had to walk way out here to land fish because it was just so shallow. Let's see. I'm getting near the top of my boots now. I'm about 15-20 feet out into the water there. I'm about halfway to those weeds. So all right, I guess I'm not going to be able to walk out to those weeds if need be, unless I want to get wet in this water. How cold is it? Let's see. Yeah, sitting right at 62.4. That's perfect. As long as it's in the 60s, I'm happy. And yeah, I think with the water being only 62 degrees, if I have a giant fish on the line and it's hung up in those weeds, I can see myself totally walking out there in 62 degree water. That's not that bad. Not gonna give me hypothermia or anything like that. Be pretty uncomfortable though. Yeah, the air is colder than the water right now. It's 50 something right now and the water is 62, so. Okay, here we go. What? I think it got off, whatever it was. Must have swimming in with me. Yeah, I still got something. That was something, whatever this was taken off. Now I'm snagged. That was weird. That was a drag screaming. It just started, just no bite or anything, just drag just started taking off. And then like felt like something broke loose. And now I'm snagged. That's interesting. Okay, but not interesting in a good way. I'm not going to waste any time. I don't think there's a fish on this. It felt like whatever was on there got off, and must have got me wrapped around something in the process. I'm just going to go ahead and bust it and get rebaited and get back out there. Oh, okay. Well, it didn't break. Kind of broke free. Kind of feels like I still have something. No? No, I just got a bunch of weeds. So, had a fish, went in some weeds, then got snagged, but I got the rig back. Okay. It's been about a half an hour. That was the first bite. So, that's it's a good sign though. A bite is good. It's a good start. That was the first one that I casted out. That was the rod on the right that was out farther and out deeper than the other two. So that's something to keep in mind, I guess. In the deeper water is where the first bite came from. It was my intention to fish that deeper water all along until I got here and started seeing carp coming to the surface closer to the shore than where I thought they should be. This water, I don't think this water is quite as cold as I was thinking it was going to be. I guess I am a couple hours south of where I do most of my fishing, so I suppose that a couple hours makes a little bit of a difference this time of year. Big lakes back home, 4 hours from here, are down into the 50s already, so yeah, I guess a couple hours makes a difference. I'm going to put this back in that same general area out there, a little farther, about 40-45 yards. Yeah, that's got to be about 8 feet of water there. Yeah, I don't know. That's where I thought they should be. But again, like I said, I keep seeing them much closer than that. Just for some perspective here, this little arm of this lake that I'm fishing, it gets down to about 20 feet deep, right out there in the middle. It goes down to 20 feet and then goes back up on the other side. It's a flooded valley here, and so I was just trying to fish kind of a mid depth, you know, halfway between me and the center, the deepest part, kind of medium depth. But I was gonna reel in and rebait after the first half an hour anyway, so I'll just go ahead and do that now. Now that I think about it, I did get snagged a couple of times, I think, when I fished here in the spring too. Oh yeah, I got weeds. There's still a bunch of weeds out there, so I guess if I do hook into a fish, that is going to be a problem. I mean, some of this stuff is dead and some of this stuff is still bright green. So, yeah, still got a lot of weeds. Well, now that I think about it, if there's a lot of weeds that are still alive out there and they haven't fallen down yet, maybe I should be casting out a little farther. Because if there's tons of weeds, this bait is not going to be able to get found if it's buried in a bunch of weeds. Maybe I should be casting out farther. So there's some clear bottom for that bait to be found. This is my first time fishing this lake in the fall, so this is all I'm just learning a ton with every cast, really, just to find out what's going on out there in the lake in the fall, because I just don't know, first time. And actually, I think this one I put out at 40-45 yards, and I'm just gonna bomb this one out straight out, probably 60 yards, get it into even a little bit deeper stuff. And then this third one I'll keep close to the bank here, over here. I'll fish 3 depths, 3 distances, and see if I can learn something from that. Hey, walk out here a little bit. There we go. Oh yeah. That's probably 15 plus. I didn't get anywhere near the center. The center of the lake here it's about 100 yards, so it's about 200 yards from here to the other bank. All right, fish that one out in the way deep. See how that goes. Bring this one in. This will be the shallow one. And this one really didn't have hardly any weeds on it, so there must be some clear spots out there. Yeah, I know, I could get all analytical about it and start casting a sinker around and dragging it along the bottom and trying to map out the bottom and figure out where the snags are and stuff like that. And that is definitely a useful thing to do, but it takes a lot of time. And when my time is so limited like this, I got a 4-hour window to fish here. I'd rather just do that learning with real rigs and baits and not spend an hour of this precious time just poking around with the sinker, probably spooking some fish too. So that's my methodology on most of the time. Is I'd rather just learn by fishing rather than poking around with the sinker. A lot of the reason I do things the way I do is for efficiency, and yeah, if I mapped it out, then I would have that knowledge for next time I come here. But things change. So like from year to year, even from season to season or month to month, the stuff changes. The logs and the snags and the weeds, and it's just so changing all the time. It's just, there's no permanent map. So I don't know. I just want to fish. Let's see. Let's go over here. Fish on. No, line's rubbing on something. Oh man, definitely still have a fish on. I can feel it shaking its head, shaking around. The line's rubbing on something. Snagged up again. I think there's lots of weeds here. I think there are lots of weeds here still. And while it's possible to hook a fish, I don't know if it's possible to land a fish. This fish is still on there. I'm gonna give it a little bit of slack. I don't think I'm hooked on something rigid like a branch or a rock or anything like that. I think it's aquatic weeds. I think there's just a bunch of them. Every time, I haven't been showing it every time, but I've been rebaiting about every half an hour here. I've been here about 2 hours. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this one, let me give it some slack for a minute. I've been rebaiting every half an hour for about the last 2.5 hours I've been here. And every time I reel back, thick weeds. Doesn't matter which distance I cast at. As soon as I start bringing my rig back, I can tell I've got weeds. Like, I'm casting into weeds everywhere I cast. And this is the second hookup now where this is the same thing. I get a drag screaming, and as soon as I put pressure on and start fighting that fish, it gets hung up. I think there's just little spots of weed-free areas, and the fish just needs to swim just a little ways in about any direction and drag the line into some clumps of weeds. Now I've just got like just moderate tension on the line just to keep the wind from taking the line, but I'll leave it sit here for a couple minutes and see if that fish wants to pull. I haven't felt it in a little while. Yeah, if I put some heavy pressure on it, it'll slip. It'll slip a little bit. I think that's just individual strands of weeds breaking from the tension that I'm putting on it. It's hung up. This is disappointing. I'm starting to think about my plan B. I had a different lake. I always had, when I travel this far, I always have a plan B. And there's a different lake in the region that I might go to tomorrow. I'm already thinking about that. I've already had 2 fish on here, and I just can't get them in. And the stuff I'm snagged on is not these reeds sticking out of the water right here 25-30 feet out in front of me. I'm out quite a bit farther than that. These are submerged vegetation that I'm getting hung up in. Well, it's been I've been farting around with this for probably about 10 minutes. I haven't felt the fish in a while. I'm just gonna go ahead and grab a spool and take a walk and see what happens here. All right. Well, that snapped the line. I was snagged good enough there that I guess the line broke before the weeds were gonna let go. That's twice now. Lost fish because of snags. I think if this happens a third time, I'm gonna exercise the plan B because I didn't come all this way just to lose a bunch of gear and not catch any fish. So we'll see. So yeah, rebaited. I'm gonna put it back out there and keep trying. I had good fishing here back in the spring before the weeds came in, and I mean the landing rate was probably near 100%. I don't remember getting snagged at all, really. It was good clear water, caught lots of fish and landed them all. but this might be a springtime only kind of place, because by the time the water gets cold enough for the weeds to die off and fall down to the bottom, water temps might be down into the 40s, and the carp have gone practically dormant for the winter. It feels like a nice clean bottom when it, I get a nice good thump when it hits the bottom, and it might be a nice clean bottom where I cast it, but like I said, there's probably scattered weeds or different lines of weeds, and fish know where they are, and they get scared and they head for the weeds. That's what they do. I got 2 more days here. I got 2 nights of hotel accommodations booked and paid for and non-refundable, and I don't know if I'm gonna go to plan B or not. I got a little bit of time here to get some action and see what else happens. I definitely did not bring enough gear with me to get snagged like a dozen times, because if this keeps up at this rate, I will be out of tackle by about the middle of the day tomorrow. So I can't be doing that either. I'm really giving the horses to this fish. Because I want him to come up to the upper part of the water column. I'm fighting this. This is the longest fight I've had so far. We're up to about 30 seconds of fighting here, and I still got him. All right, he's swimming off to the right. Getting close to these reeds sticking up. No. Oh, I see the reeds moving. He's in the reeds. He's in the reeds. He is hung up in the reeds. Right down here from me. Oh no. Okay. Broke loose out of the reeds. I thought that was the fish breaking loose. Now the fish is heading left. He's looking for something, you know? Getting into some other reeds. It's time for me to enter the water. Get out beyond these little band of weeds here by the shore. This is exciting. I was getting pretty discouraged with the first 2 lost fish there. I'm standing in about 1.5 feet of water here, and it's about as far out as I'm going to go before I start overtopping my boots. I'm still fighting a fish, and it's been more than 30 seconds. It's been several minutes now. This fish is working back and forth in front of me here on a short leash. While I'm working this fish, I'll give you a peek at the water clarity here with the net cam. I mean, check that out. That's just unheard of in this part of the world. Our waters are so polluted here in Iowa. This is just a real treat to have some clear water like this. It's so rare to see the fish swimming underwater like that. I never see that. Come on. Oh, real close, real close. Yes. Whew, we almost swam out the net again. Well, it looks like my middle line is slack, and I don't know if that was getting a bite while I was fighting this fish, or if I bumped that, or this fish swam across it maybe. It's that larger size 2 hook that I've been experimenting with. Keep the eyes covered, and I'm gonna get a weight on this fish. This has got to be close to 20. Close to 23, 22.13 in the net. Yes, 23 in the net, and that net weighs 3 pounds with the camera on it. So this is a 20-pound fish. This is why I'm here. Maybe I can stop thinking about plan B, at least for the time being. Landed this fish, didn't seem to get caught in anything. The fight went about as smooth as it can, you know. Get some light on there. Yeah, big common carp. Perfect condition. I can't tell you how relieved I am to have this big fish here tonight. There's about an hour and a half of daylight left, and I'm gonna fish every single minute of it. Walk out of here in the dark, back in the water with this big fish, catch him again. He wasn't out for more than a minute or two. See you later. Yeah, the water is warmer than the air. It's like warms up my hands to stick them in the water. Well, 3 fish hooked and only 1 landed. That's only a 33% landing rate. That's still not very good. But I was kind of thinking it was going to be a 0 for tonight, but yeah, moving in the right direction. That fish came from just kind of the 30-40 yard distance, right in the zone right through the cattle cubes. Over the last couple hours, I've just ended up just quitting with the longer distance, deeper ones, and just brought all 3 of them in about 35 yards or so, right where the cattle cubes were thrown and where I have seen fish surfacing several times. And that fish is consistent with the types of fish that I caught back in the spring. I don't know how many fish I caught, but almost all of them were in the teens, up mid-teens, and then the occasional 20 plus, stuff like that. So lots of big fish swimming around in this lake. That's why I'm here. Yeah, that's a size 2 hook there. That's the same as the size 4 in a Gamakatsu. It's the size 2 laser sharp. Been experimenting with slightly larger hooks here the last few weeks, and been having really good results actually. On again, on again. Got a good fish. Got a good fish. Gotta stop him. Nope. That's why I put those bigger hooks on, so I can do stuff like that. I'm not. Those small hooks wouldn't have bended. They wouldn't have bent out. I'm just talking about the big hooks are less likely to tear the fish's mouth because the wire is bigger. Tighten that up a little bit. Okay, got this fish on here for more than 20 seconds. That's exciting. I'm just keeping the rod tip pointed straight up because I want, if I can lift this fish up to be in the upper part of the water column, that's where I want him to be. Seems like there'd be less weeds. It's been about a half an hour since I caught that other fish. Just been hanging out, ate my dinner. I'm ready to rock and roll for the next hour or so of daylight here. And he's going into the reeds, just like the other one. He's right in that gap of the reeds right here. I'm going to get out here and see if I can get him in close to me here. One nice thing about this cooler water is they don't have quite as much energy as they do in the summer. I still got a lot of energy, but not quite as much. I really just want to start marching right out there, just march right out there and shove the net out, but I'm up to the edge of my boots right now. Get in my net. Yes! Got him on the first try that time. That's sweet. Here, look at the underwater view of the fish in the net. Water's clear enough you can actually see him, huh? I can see him from standing up here. It never happens. This fish has a big belly. I think this is going to be a heavier fish than that first one. Not necessarily longer, but definitely wider. $22.10, it's about the same. $22.15, $14, $21, $22. Yeah, another beast of a fish. What was it, 22 in the net? So this is another 19, high teens fish. Big belly on this fish, not that long. It was shorter and wider than that first fish, but managed to get this one in with I didn't detect any running in the weeds or anything like that. So I'm wondering if maybe just those first 2 lost fish were just bad luck, unless I'm catching the stupid fish. No, I'm just kidding. But gosh, this is getting better and better. Like I said, there's about 45 minutes to an hour left of daylight here, and let's get one more on the bank, huh? Oh, sir. We're back to what you were doing. Sorry to ruin your evening. Well, that got my blood pumping, got me warmed up. I was getting a little bit cold here, just sitting here not catching anything. Other one's going off. Yeah, I was just crouching down to rebait another one. I got a group of fish in here. Just trying to do the same thing, plus pulling straight up. Try and keep them up in the upper part of the water column. This fish is moving off to the right, doing the same thing that the first two fish have done. This might be a smaller fish, or maybe just one that's just not as motivated to fight. I don't know. Maybe he's just playing coy up until he gets right here, and then he's going to show his power. Maybe. Yeah, nice. Yeah, a little bit smaller fish. Yeah, another smaller fish. I'd guess this one's 11, 12 pounds, something like that. This so this is bringing up my average now. I'm 3 for 5. So that's we're landing a percentage of 60% now. Getting better with every hour that goes by. Guess I just had some bad luck at the start of the session. Going pretty good now. That's good. And get the bad ones out of the way at the beginning, and then just catch fish the rest of the time. See ya. Phew, I think it's safe to say that I won't be moving on to plan B here in this trip. Just getting jumping the gun a little bit there, I guess. Plan A is working out. Fish on. Fish on. Oh boy. It's almost dark. No. No. Well, the session started out kind of rough, but ended up being pretty good. Landed 3 good solid fish in just a little short 4-hour session. Pretty good. This is day 1. Tune in next week and see what happens on day 2 and 3. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. See you on the next one.